everyone, and welcome to my masterclass. I'm so excited. We have a lot to share today, so I'm going to carry on, not wasting time. But today I'm going to present my 5 steps for you to create a marketing strategy that will attract your ideal client. So the client who is ready to buy from you. So a little bit about me. I'm going to start with a small presentation about myself. So I've been working in marketing in the corporate world for 13 years, and I was so excited. It was fast paced and so on. And I think since I was a little girl, I always saw myself, being in that corporate environment as a director, marketing director, creating, um, adverts, on TV and running a team of, I don't know, 5 people. And, all I wanted. But, it was exciting, fast paced, but ultimately, it led to burnout. I think, like many of you probably, I've done 2 burnout in 5 years in 2 different jobs, not ideal. And the second time around, when I had my burnout, I was more on the brink of doing a burnout than having an actual burnout, but things were different. I actually became a mom. My daughter is 2 years old now, and my family became my priority. So, when I was on the brink to have a burnout, I then took a step back and thought, okay, what do I want? My family is my priority. I'm irrepressible for my daughter. So, what happened to me if I end up in the hospital with a really bad burnout? Because I know it happens. And quite honestly, I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't, the idea of not being able to care for my daughter because I was having a burnout was not something I could conceive. So I decided to then leave my well-paid job and work for myself. I have the flexibility to work for myself, have the flexibility to spend time with her and to be here with her during her childhood, especially in the early years before she goes to school. I want to have the chance to share stuff with her, and that's the time to do it. So I decided to leave my job and building my own business. So now, don't get me wrong, I know building a business takes time, it takes energy, and let's be honest, entrepreneurs are more at risk of burnout than anyone else. Um, but I do know that marketing can help entrepreneurs, sorry, and that's why I'm here, because I'm a marketer. So I've learned for 15 years a lot of things, during my studies, but during my 13 years in corporate environment about marketing. So I know how marketing can help you, and how I know how you can optimize your marketing so you don't have to spend and work 10 hours a day. I just want to ask a question around what's your biggest marketing struggle? So please answer A, B, C, or D, depending on what's your biggest marketing struggle. That would be really, really good to know. So the first steps into creating a proven marketing strategy is about ideal clients. Your ideal client, I always encourage my student to start with that, because if you don't know your clients, you can't speak to them. That's as simple as that. And you also can't target everyone, because let's be honest, if everyone is your customer, no one is your customer. I've put it here. No customer equal no business. So that seems basic, but it is important to remind ourselves our customers make our business, and it's important we get to know them. If everyone is your customer, no one is your customer. So your offer is designed to solve a specific issue, and you don't want to scale your business or invest in ads before you know that your offer aligns with the problem. So that's why we need to make sure we identify the problem first. So write down your basic client avatar. Is definitely a steps you want to take. so that you can start with an assumed customer profile with some issues and challenges that you know your customers are facing. So the framework to create your persona, so this is just a framework. You don't have to use all the steps, but it's great to have this information. So the first one is pains. So identify your customer frustrations, what keeps them up at night, what repetitive tasks do they dread, for example, what are the obstacles preventing them from achieving their goals. The gains are around uncovering their aspirations. So, what result do they desire? What would a perfect solution look like for them, or how would it improve their lives? The third one is around shift. So that's the pinpoint triggering events. So that's the changes that happens in their lives that will push them to address their pain points or challenges. So what life changes or situation might make them actively seek a solution. So if you understand that, that's then becoming much easier to then communicate with your audience. The blockers, so the blockers, it's the objections. Basically every customer have objections. So what doubts or worries might they have about your solution? Is it cost, complexity, lack of trust? Understand that so you can then be proactive into responding to their blockers and objections. And motivator is discover what inspires them, what kind of proof or social influence will convince them of your solution's values. Um, so it can be testimonials, stories, or so on. So I always advise my clients to use AI to create their high value customer profile, especially if you start from scratch and you have not much of an idea who are your ideal clients. AI is a great place to start with. So you have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have Jasper. So Jasper is a marketing specialist AI. It's paid, so you have to pay for it. But I would say, to be honest, I use a lot Gemini. It works very well. Um, and so you can ask AI to give you some kind of avatar for your customer. So here is an example of a prompt that you can use to create your customer avatar, which says, can you create a persona as part of a market research to better understand the audience of and then describe your business? So life coaching or whatever it might be, marketing coaching. Try to give as much detail as you can. The typical buyer is, and then describe who you think is your target audience. So you must have an idea who you want to target, and it's okay if it's not super precise. But for example, for me, I would say the typical buyer is a solo entrepreneurs who have their company for 1 to 5 years and they're struggling with marketing. They're struggling to attract their ideal clients. So that's simply what you can have in there. And then include demographics, psychographics, main challenges, values and motivation of this buyer persona, include key emotional drivers and powerful language. Give the persona a real name so it is easy to refer to it going forward. So you can try this prompt. If you want the prompt, please email me. That's absolutely fine. Email me and I can send you the prompt directly to your email box. So then we have the second steps of our 5 steps is choose your channels. And this one is really important. And I always go through this with my clients. Even if they're already using social media or already have a website, it's really important to go through these steps because many entrepreneurs make the mistake of being everywhere and using every social media. So try and choose one social media to focus on. So I usually split it as the social media short form of content like Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, and one long form of content which is email, blog, podcast. So I always advise my client to choose one short form of content and one long form of content. And why is that? It's because, first of all, by concentrating on every social media platform, you will dilute your effort, waste your energy being everywhere. You are going to end up not creating quality. So one social media, it can also be YouTube or LinkedIn, and one long form of content, because you can then move from borrowed audience. So Instagram doesn't belong to you, for example. So the people who follow you on Instagram doesn't belong to you. It's not an audience. You don't have their contact details. So if you, for any reason, your account gets hacked, then you lose your audience. So you want to move them from Instagram, for example, to then an email list. And I'm going to run through the slide after. But the email list will help you engage with your audience. So we'll do the blog and podcast. It will help you really build that trust and build that relationship with your audience. So, proven marketing strategy, irresistible offer, and message. So again, this one is really important, because one mistake I see my clients do all the time is basically telling their clients to buy. And that's great. But people are not going to buy if they don't understand the value of what you provide. So what's an irresistible offer? An irresistible offer is one that is superior to all other offers on the market. It should be a no-brainer for your customer to subscribe to. And it answers the question, what's in it for me? So you need to answer the question of basically how this offer is really solving their problems. And it can deliver both functional and emotional benefits to the buyer. And so it combines an attractive solution with a desirable proposition. So this desirable proposition, we can articulate it into the irresistible message. So I use for my clients the FAB method. So it stands for features, advantages, and benefits. So if you have this clearly outlined in your framework, then it becomes so easy to create a message that will be impactful for your target audience. So the features, so it's outlining what your product or service does. The advantage, how it performs better than others. And the benefits is the positive impact it has on the customer lives. And the benefits is really what you have to communicate with your audience. Really, it's what the audience needs to know, because that's going to connect them on an emotional level. Then we have the sales funnel. The sales funnel is really important. So once you have your ideal client, you've chosen your channel you want to use, you have your offer and you have your message, then move on into building your sales funnel. So why having a sales funnel? Because it boosts conversions. So by optimizing each stage, you can nudge your prospect down the funnel. Imagine, so patching leads in a real funnel, so you capture more leads and convert them into sales. So if your funnel is not leaking, you will capture more people into this funnel. So that's why it's really good to and you don't have to spend a lot of time doing this. Like, take a piece of paper and think, how you are getting your customers. Social media. I use social media to get visibility. Then I use email list to help me boost conversions, for example. And so sales funnel will help you improve your customer experience. So with a smooth funnel, you will guide your customers seamlessly into your offer, so they get the right information at the right time, leading to a more positive experience. So here is what I've put in place. For example, in a simple way. So Instagram, let's use Instagram to encourage your audience to subscribe to your newsletter by promoting a lead magnet. So you want on Instagram to entertain your audience, you know, tell them who you are, what you provide, why you're doing what you're doing, do a little bit of storytelling and tell them, I have created this amazing guide for you so you can learn how to be happier in your life. It's packed with 5 actions you can do every day for 1 month to lead a happier life, for example. If you want the guide, please subscribe to my email, kind of. So build an email list of engaged customers who want to buy from you. That's the goal. So like I said earlier, you remember you use Instagram to get visibility, build an audience, but then move them into an email list so you can gather details, and then you can keep, building that connection and that relationship with your audience. And so once they have basically signed up to your lead magnet that you've promoted on Instagram, so they're giving you their email address, you can send them the lead magnet you promised them on Instagram. So this can be any form of PDF, video. This could be free or paid. If it's paid, it's usually for a very small fee. And then they're going to have the information you send them. So they're going to understand the value that you provide to them, so that it leads you nicely into providing and promoting your high value offer. So now you have proven the value of your offer through the lead magnet. It is time to present your higher value and irresistible offer. So prevent marketing strategy in 5 steps. Again, the fifth steps, the last step, is content creation. And you might be making a common assumption that your ideal client already knows they have a problem and actively seeks for a solution. And the reality is a little bit different. The customer journey often starts long before they even realize they have an issue. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Your ideal client is probably at the base, enjoying the view, blissfully unaware of the steep climb ahead. Your job as a business or as an entrepreneur is to be their guide, so to show them that the mountain exists, and so you need to highlight challenges they may face. Is it slippery rocks, thin hair, whatever it is? Ultimately convince them that you have the perfect gear, so your product or your service, to help them reach the summit, so the desired outcome. So you really have to educate them on what is it that they're facing, what challenges that they're facing. And I know it seems very counterproductive, because why would you think that your audience don't know the challenges they face? But believe me, they do, and sometimes they need a little bit of education because they're not an expert. So for me as a marketer, my audience are not expert in marketing, so I have to tell them why are they are not selling to the way they want to sell. Why the offer is not selling, and it's probably a marketing problem. So I have to educate them, show them why the offer is not selling and how they can improve, how they can create this irresistible offer and then ultimately sell. So by understanding and addressing each stage of the customer's journey, you can create marketing that resonates at every touch point. You will become a trusted resource guide for your clients to climb that mountain, to understand they have this issue and how to solve it. So remember, your marketing needs to be a conversation, not a monologue. So listen to your audience, their needs at every stage of the journey, and then provide the valuable information and solution they crave. That's how you truly connect with your ideal clients and grow your business. So that leads me nicely into the next slide, which is, if you feel your marketing strategy is not working, you're not attracting the right clients, you have a lot of people coming to you saying they're interested and no one buys, or very little percentage of people who come to you buy. I have created 15 days guide to irresistible marketing. So it's showing you how to create this 5 step in more depth, in more information, um, how to create your marketing strategy, this irresistible marketing that's going to help you sell more and work less. Um, so I have everything in this guide, explained step by steps. I've done a little calendar for you, so you do not need to work more than 1 hour a day for 15 days to create that irresistible marketing strategy. Um, and you're going to discover the proven marketing strategy that helps entrepreneurs attract high value clients, craft irresistible offer, and build a sales funnel that converts. So it's everything that we've seen today, but explained in a little bit more detail, with templates and prompts that you can use with AI to help you create that irresistible marketing. At the end of the guide, you will find a bonus, which is how to free up your time learning to use AI as your marketing agency. So this is what I've done. I'm a marketer and I've hired AI as my marketing agency. So they can advise me on what I need to create for my clients, or, simply what content to post on social media. And I have a marketing program. So again, if you're struggling with increasing visibility and generating quality leads, choosing the right social media platform, consistent execution of marketing activities, producing and delivering content, I'm launching a program mid-September to help you create that marketing strategy that's going to help you doing all of this, increase visibility, and of course, then help you sell more, increase your sales, help you choosing the right social media platforms for your audience. So you don't have to dilute or waste your energy anymore posting on all the social media. Consistent execution of marketing activities. So how to create this irresistible offer and message that you can consistently use on every platforms that you use, and producing and delivering content. So it's about producing and delivering content for each steps of the of your customer journey, so you can target them at the right time with the right content. So thank you for listening to me. And please let me know if you have any questions. You can also email me any questions you have. Thank you.